So thank you guys all for hopping on our Unstoppable Misfits team Zoom tonight. I am very excited to announce our special guest speaker, Ashleen. How do you pronounce your last name? Caino?
It's Caino. It's kind of like casino without the S.
Okay.
It's weird. I'm the Irish one. He's the Argentinian one. I got the Argentinian name. It doesn't make sense. I don't.
Well, we love
I used to be a McRae. McRae, that made sense.
Okay. I get it. That sounds like it's from Ireland. So before I hand over the call to her tonight, I wanted to first say, I'm getting really excited for new faces I keep seeing on here. So welcome everyone, whether it's your first time hopping on or your 100th time, welcome everybody. I wanted to run something by you all really quick. There's two important things. If you guys are signed up for my newsletter, then you already know this. But in case you are not, next Monday, we are doing a 22-minute hardcore, I don't even know the name of our new program, 22-minute hardcore test group. And next week is prep week, so everyone has until Monday or even Tuesday to sign up for it. We're going to do a test group. We're going to do it for 30 days first and then continue it on. Last but not least, and this is something that is most important, I know the new launch program is very important too, but this is, I think, is going to help more people. I'm doing a mind and body challenge at the end of the month, and it's team wide. We are going to be doing Piyo, and how I'm running it is, so you guys can do it the same way. It's completely up to you, but for every person that purchases a challenge pack, they get a free gift, and the free gift is personal development, and it is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I've heard amazing things. Oh, awesome, Cindy. I've heard amazing things about this book. I actually had my tarot card reading done last week by one of my challengers, and she recommended this book to me because of so many people dealing with, self-worth issues and depression, anxiety, adrenal fatigue, hypothyroidism, blood pressure, you name it. And you can literally heal all elements of your life by changing the way you do certain things, not by eating and nutrition, but like mindset wise. So I think it would be a perfect addition to doing Piyo, because Piyo is, to me, it's any type of yoga is for your soul. You're not just working on your outside, you're working on your inside too. So I thought it would be a great combination. So go ahead and start inviting to that too. If you guys want, this book is on Amazon for like $7.59, I believe, or maybe it's like a little around it's a little under $8, around $8. So they have to buy a challenge pack, or if they already have Piyo, be on Shakeology Home Direct to get a free gift. Right? So with that said, I'm going to introduce our very special guest speaker tonight, Ashleen. She's a 5-star diamond coach who is from Ireland originally. She moved over here 7 years ago, but she's been here 4 years official, correct?
Yeah. Legally. Legal. Yeah. That's another story.
She is a 2014-2015 Premier Coach. She is the founder of Team Shine, and I got a chance to meet her team last night, and they're absolutely amazing. And after I creeped on her and I stalked her a little bit, I was like, okay, this girl needs to speak on our team call, because she mesh so well. And the fact that she networks like a boss and she could talk to you guys about it, which I know is a big area of struggle for a lot of us. I knew I had to have her, and I had to reach out and beg her. So with that said, I'm handing them, before I hand over the mic, if you guys have any questions during her talk, you can go ahead and write your questions in the chat box like usual, and then at the end we'll open it up to anyone that wants to unmute and ask. So take it away.
I'm just so excited. I know everyone's always like, I'm so excited to be here, but I really am. Like, you can see it. I just absolutely love getting to talk to anyone who will freaking listen. No, seriously, it's just really nice to be here and deliver a message to you all. Hopefully you'll get some nuggets from it. You do have a rock star upline there who killed it on my call last night. So I'm not sure how much you're really going to get from this that's new, but at least you can get a different spin on things, which is always really refreshing. So I was going to start with my story, but I'm going to start with You Can Heal Your Life, because that book is phenomenal. And you were talking about your tarot cards. These are my angel tarot right here. We are meant to be.
Oh my God.
And I will have you know that book is absolutely fantastic. If you go to the very back of it, there's a little A to Z, not Z, A to Z dictionary of like every illness under the sun. And it tells you like the mental and subconscious reason for actually why your body's manifesting that, and the affirmation you need to start telling yourself to clear it up. And I actually know a girl firsthand, a good friend of mine who actually cured her stage 3 cervical cancer with that book. So that's not something you really legally say, but it's legit. It's really good stuff. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, I need to tell this story. Okay, back to my story. I ramble. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I've been a coach for 3.5 years now. It's crazy because I still feel like such a new coach. Like the time just goes so fast in this business, doesn't it? And so looking back, I'm like, wow, really? I've been here that long? I feel like it's been a year. But it's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster. Has not been easy for sure. So I'm just going to really take you through a timeline of my story. There's going to be little bits and pieces of how I built my network thrown in there. There's not any major strategy in this call. I just kind of ramble on and hope for the best. People are still there at the end. So yeah, I'll start at the beginning. I'm from Ireland. I have never been into health and fitness whatsoever. I mean, I was completely like, it's the Antichrist, you know, like I really was against fitness, especially like coming from Ireland, like all it does is rain, right? People don't go outside and run and stuff like that. Like we sit in the pub and we have beer, you know, and smoke and curse and stuff. So I'm sorry, you'll hear curse words. I'm Irish, it's just a given, okay? And yeah, if you ever saw anyone running outside or anything, you'd be like, oh, loser, you know, back to my pint, okay? So that was kind of the way my perception of fit people were. Is like they were posers, they were doing it for just purely vanity reasons, so to speak. So I was never into fitness. I was never really overweight. I was kind of skinny fat, could lose 20 pounds. I just wasn't healthy. I started smoking when I was 14, started doing pot when I was 14. I started drinking alcohol when I was 14. It's legal when you're 18. So I'm not so bad. It's not 21, it's 18 over there. But yeah, I would drink a lot. That's just kind of what we do in Ireland, and it's really, really sad. So I just wasn't healthy. Went to university, continued that, smoking all the time, drinking, partying. And I got into this relationship with a dude, and it wasn't so great for 4 years, and he really mentally broke me. I had like no self-worth whatsoever, and then ultimately he was cheating on me and all this kind of stuff. And so I just decided I need to get the hell out of here. Like I need to get out. And so as soon as I got my degree, I took off to the other side of the planet and went to India. I was like, see ya, I'm out of here. And that was really scary. Like I was 23 years old. And I mean, the furthest I'd been was like Spain, which is really not that far, like in the grand scheme of Europe from where I'm from, like an hour flight or something. And I would go with friends. I'd never dreamed of going somewhere like that as a female on my own. You know, it was just scary biscuits. So I did that. I just started backpacking, went to Nepal, Southeast Asia, and somehow wound up in the United States. Right? And it was my 3rd day in the United States when I met my now husband. So it was kind of all meant to be that I was in this terrible relationship that forced me to leave my home country that I never wanted to leave, and wound up falling in love with some dude who's not actually from this country. He's actually Argentinian, but whatever. Whole different story, as I was saying. So that's how I wound up here anyway. That was 7 years ago next month. And yeah, it was love at first sight. We had to do a lot of border hopping. I did 3 months here, 3 months in Ireland, 2 months here, 2 months there. And, you know, we decided we love each other, whatever, let's just get married. So we got a little bit married a little bit sooner than we would have. We got married after a year. But we knew it was all good. So we did it. But in order to get my green card, I had to go back to Ireland for 5 months. And my husband had to stay here. So that was a nightmare. I don't know about any of you, like being away from your significant other. Generally people can't last even the week. It's really, really tough to be away from someone you're crazy about for that long. So 5 months, it was a sentence. It was awful. So I really fell into a depression right away. As soon as I was back in Northern Ireland, I was just like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? And I suffer from a lot of anxiety and stuff like that too. I'd be prone to going into a little bit of a depression. So I remembered I'd seen this infomercial back in the States for this crazy program with this crazy bald black guy jumping around And I was like, I got to do that program, Insanity, right? And so I got a hold of it anyway. And I wasn't fit. Like I said, I'd never worked out or anything, but I just needed something. And that was my thing that I stuck with. And ironically, Insanity kept me sane for 5 months. I got exactly 2 rounds in, 2 60-day rounds. And it transformed my life. Within about the first week or so, I just fell in love with challenging yourself and how amazing it made me feel mentally and emotionally, and how strong it was making me feel on the inside and just empowered. And I finally was starting to get it. I was like, okay, I think I know why people might work out now. There's a high here. I'm really enjoying it. And so I really turned into one of those people who's just screaming it from the rooftops, kind of like your ideal challenger, right? Who's just like, oh my God, this program. That was me. But I didn't have a coach at the time. I had coaches sniffing around, but as soon as I heard that I was from Ireland, they took off, not knowing I was actually in the United States. So sucks for them. So yeah, I came back to the States, and I remember I was hanging out in the Shaun T page one day, like, "Ooh, what up, Shaun T?" And this coach found me, and she brought me into her free group, and she was like, "Yeah, whatever, just join. It's good for accountability." I never bought anything, but she took me in, and after a month or so, she just saw how crazy passionate I was, screaming all over my Facebook, and she was like, "You should be a coach. You're doing what I'm doing and not getting paid." And I didn't really think much about it. I was just like, okay, if it keeps me accountable, then that's good. Because I'd lost my accountability at that point. I wasn't in Ireland anymore. I was back in the United States, right? And so I didn't have that thing to kind of keep me going anymore. I was back with my husband. I was falling back into my rut, eating crap every day, nice and happy, comfort zone. So for me, being a coach meant I was going to push play every day. There was someone who was going to be looking up to me. And that was truly my why in the beginning. I didn't really know much about the business opportunity. So yeah, I said, yeah, probably the easiest person in the world to sign up. But I just figured, it's like, you learn about branding and you need to find the people that are just like you. And I guess I didn't know anything about branding at the time, but I figured if there are people like me out there who are really so not into fitness that can be converted the way I was, I need to get that message out there to let them know that they can do this too, that they can burn off the crazy, they can, step away from the anxiety, they can gain more control and feel empowered and just get more overall happiness in their life. I need to find those people and let them know. So, not the Lindsay Matt ways that are at their goal or whatever else, but just I'm the real deal. I'm that person that really struggles. I will have the Nutella jar and I'll be like, I need to eat this, and I put my struggles on Facebook. And I think that's one of the big things I found very successful for me. I was one of those coaches from the beginning, always just putting my vulnerabilities out there and not being too afraid to do that. And it's paid off big time. So anyway, yeah, I signed up to be a coach. It was September 2012. And yeah, it certainly didn't blow up fast anytime soon, because when I joined, I literally knew my husband and our roommates, and that was it. Okay? Everyone else I knew was on this tiny little green island on the other side of the Atlantic. That was it. And so, really don't know why my coach invited me, if you think about it. I didn't know anyone, but yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do what she did. I'll just create like a little group here on Facebook, and I'll find people who are like in the Shaun T page, and I'll just add them to it, and we'll just keep each other accountable. And, maybe over time they might want to like do a challenge with me. So that was kind of how I figured it. And that's what I did. There was no stress. So, for me, my first sale was 3 months into it, my first ever challenge pack. And I didn't hit Emerald until 4 months into it. So I'm not one of those coaches that just rocketed from the start. Like, it was hard. It was a challenge. And I'll tell you the reason why I really hit Success Club that month as well. There was a big why that made me do it. There was really good motivation. So this was before Success Starters, and Beachbody said, okay, if you guys hit Success Club 5 this month, you will get a free ticket to Coach Summit. And I was like, okay, this sounds really good. I really want to go to that. I don't want to have to sit there and justify my hubby whenever I wasn't seriously doing the business to pay that money. So I was like, okay, well, let me try to earn this for free, and then we'll take it from there. And honestly, he was actually really supportive of it. When he found out afterwards, he's like, I would have let you, would have let you. He would have been fine with it. He supported it anyway, because he understood the impact it does have for this. And I think he just liked seeing me happy. And finally finding a passion about something in life, because I never had that. But yeah, that was my motivation anyway. And I'm telling you, I like did everything under the sun to get those 5 points. I hold the world record for getting the last Success Club point of the month. I remember it was like 8:45 p.m. Pacific. I was like, I'll give you $25 back. Just sign up. But I got it. I got my 5th point. And yeah, that was it. And after that, you know, once you hit it once and you know you can do it, you just keep it going. And that's what this business is about, especially in the beginning. It's just going for those milestones and knowing you can do it. Whenever you really push yourself to at least achieve it just once, then you've unleashed that potential within yourself. And when you see you can do it, then you truly know you can do it again. It wasn't a one-off. And anyone can do that. It is just truly applying yourself and having a good enough why or a reason. I didn't really have a good why in the beginning. I wanted to be accountable. Well, how's that going to really help me help others? But when I heard of the summit ticket, I was like, dude, I want that. And I went for it. So obviously the big lesson there is have a why that's really going to emotionally fuel you to succeed. You know, obviously I wasn't going to cry over Summit, but if your why doesn't make you cry, you have to dig deeper. And that's just true. You have to really peel back the layers of the onion and find why you decided to become a Beachbody coach. And that's something we ask in our Getting Started Right calls. The first thing I'll ask my coach as soon as we're on the phone is, okay, I know we've talked about why you decided to become a coach, but I want to hear right now the real deal. Why did you say yes? And we get into a conversation about it. And they're not allowed to tell me because they want to help people. That's a given, right? But I want to know the emotional reason. And I help them connect with that and really see that it's about more than what they may just think up here. Once they're feeling it, they're like, okay. And after that, then that's where I start working with their goals and so on. Like, okay, you know, we aim for Success Club 5 or saving 3 lives, as we call it in our team. In fact, I've taken it to a whole new level where I actually tell them to go for SC10 right from the beginning. I used to be really scared to do that. But I found that whenever you set the bar higher, you're going to have these 3 groups of people, right? That's something I heard Coach Jimmy say recently. So it doesn't matter if the bar is here or if the bar is here. There's always the same 3 groups of people. So the bar is here, Success Club 5, right? You're going to have people who are going to be like, okay, running it. Woohoo, I'm over it. You're going to have all these people who are like trying to get over it. And then eventually they do. And then you have the people who look at it and go, screw that. And they run off, right? So it doesn't matter if the bar is here or if it's up here at SC10. You're still going to have the same people go, yeah, or I'm over, and then screw that, I'm out. So I figured why not just tell them from the beginning, go for SC10. And since I've been doing that the last few months, I'm telling you, I would say 80% of all my new coaches are hitting SC10. And that's huge for them because their confidence goes through the roof. I mean, I have older coaches now on my team who are like, what are they doing? I can't even do that, because they weren't set up with that mindset, if that makes sense, of you can just do it. You don't tell them it's hard. It's like, this is doable. You can do it. There's a strategy, we'll get you there. But I found there's one extra thing that gives them fuel to achieve that. I'm assuming you all know this, but you know, when you hit SC10, you get the free Success Club leads from Beachbody. So you hit Success Club 10. The next month you look in your coach online office and there's like 3 to 5 new people who have bought a minimum of Shakeology, right? Well, I say to my new customers, guess what? If you hit the Success Club 10 mark, next month you're not going to have to worry about paying for your Shakeology, because you're going to have at least 3 to 5 new customers and their commission is going to cover your next month's Shakeology. Boom. As soon as I tell them that on the Getting Started Right call, they're like, it's not even a question to them. They're going for SC10. So it's just a matter of saying, okay, let's think of 5 people you can help. You know, a lot of them can't think right off the bat, 5 people they can definitely help, but we start to put them in the process of, you know, doing the coming out kind of message on Facebook. I just became a Beachbody coach. I want to pay it forward, looking to people to join me in my challenge. You know, we do all that kind of stuff where we start getting them promoted and inviting and so on. But I feel like setting them up, just no goal is too high. When you set an average goal, you're only going to have an average outcome, right? So just make your goals bigger. By the way, has anyone been reading the 10X rule, or have you ever heard of that book?
Oh, they're all reading it. We got on that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I actually started reading it about a week before someone posted it in the wall group, and I was like, dude, we're all like in sync right now. We all just picked up this book. That's crazy, but it's so true. And that's actually what I've been seeing. Like I said, sorry, I'm propping my laptop up on my books. but that's what I've been seeing by telling people to just go for SC10 and making them believe in themselves. And once they know they can do it, it's just they do it again and again and again. So if you've never hit SC10 before or even SC5, just tell yourself, okay, you know what? I'm just going to freaking go for it and find your why and just prove to yourself that you can do it. And once you see you've done it, you're going to keep freaking doing it. Okay, back to my story, rewind. Okay, so I hit Success Club for the first time. I went to Emerald 4 months into being a coach. I was working in retail at the time, so I was in Whole Foods Market. Whoop, whoop, love it. I was one of those girls that worked in the nutrition and supplement department, so I know every vitamin and holistic healing thing under the sun, which is why when I took one look at Shakeology, I was like, that stuff is legit, because I'm one of those people that knows every single ingredient on that and exactly what it does and exactly what it can cure. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is phenomenal. And so, yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling on. But realistically, Whole Foods is still retail, right? As much as it's a great and fun job, it's still minimum wage. I couldn't be there forever, you know? And at this point, we were planning a family, wanting to have a baby. So I was saying to my hubby, look, I've seen in my team, this wasn't Team Shine at the time, it was my uplines team, there are people saying that they're starting to quit their corporate jobs. They're making a lot of money out of this. So, you know, maybe like if I match my income, my full-time income here from Whole Foods, like maybe I can like say, see ya, fire the boss and do this full time. And he was like, sure. I mean, if you're matching your income, it doesn't matter. The money is the money. That's all that matters. So, that became my new why, and I went for that. So within 7 months from signing up to be a coach, 7 months later, I fired my boss and I became a full-time Beachbody coach. I had matched my income. That was an awesome month for me. That was March 2013. It was my first ever Team Cup also. And that was the month I went diamond. So a lot of things happened. And it was also the month I got pregnant. So it was a crazy month. And I want to touch upon Team Cup a little bit. I know it just passed, so it's slightly irrelevant, but keep this in mind for the next one. So at that stage, I'd been a coach for 7 months. I had matched my income, but I was kind of building myself on discount coaches and stuff like that. I still wasn't making that much money, really. So I was, you know, just about hitting SC5 every month. That was about it. But my coach saw some kind of potential in me, and she invited me to her Team Cup group with a few other up-and-coming people. And we just decided, you know what, let's go balls to the walls with this. Let's just take this opportunity and go bananas, use each other's accountability partners, which is why you should have success partners, and just go for it. And that's what we did. And actually we closed out that Team Cup as joint first place. So we actually ended up being placed third because of someone in someone's team. One person got like 50 million points or whatever. And yeah, seriously, it was like 100 and something. We're like, okay. But yeah, joined first. And that was just amazing, because for me, I went from being this person who was starting to build her confidence, confidently hitting SC5 now, to the very next month hitting 34 points. Like, if you had told me you're going to hit 34 points next month, I would have laughed my ass off at you. No way. I wouldn't even barely believed you if you said 10. Maybe I'd be like, okay, 10's doable. But what we did is we just sat down and I just worked out, okay, 2 weeks before Team Cup started, I was like, I need to find people here, like really, really find people. So I really made a point of upping my numbers. Every day I would just go and go into groups, like-minded places, groups I'd like to hang out in. At the time, it was the fitness pages. I don't do that anymore. I'll get into what I do in a few minutes. But I would go into those pages and just connect with people like crazy. And I had like a certain number of people I wanted to friend. And for me, I had 2 weeks to really start forming them. I wasn't going to talk to them about anything Beachbody, just build that relationship. So by the time March came around and Team Cup had started, I had a fresh list of people who were like fully formed and ready to say, hey, by the way, you know, the way you were saying to me about how you just had your kid or whatever it was, I got this challenge coming up. Would you be interested in knowing a little bit more information about it? And that's what it was. It's the fact that I just sat down with a plan, made a conscious intention of building a list, which I'd never done before, and just forming them like crazy. It just proved the whole idea behind relationship building, and not just finding people and being like, hey, here's the link. At that point in the team I was in, there wasn't really a lot of new coach training. I did all my training from the Coach Online office at the time, and it wasn't really that good. Vicki probably remembers. I'm pretty sure we signed up around the same time. So yeah, it was really sink or swim at that point. And so yeah, for me, this whole like building relationships thing was a big deal that I discovered like basically by myself. Okay, so we're having a great month, 34 Success Club points, mind blown. And that's why I tell everyone when Team Cup comes up, you got to get in there and you got to get everyone in your downline in there, whether they are new or not, because Team Cup is where you truly see your potential. What would have happened to my career as a Beachbody coach if I had never been in that Team Cup group? What would have happened if I'd never hit those 34 points? I would have never even slightly believed I was capable of doing such things. But instead, I did it. I saw what I could do, and I said to myself, okay, well, why not do that again next month? And a month after that, and a month after that. Maybe I can do more. Maybe I can try to up at a point every month, you know? So that's the whole idea here. You have to keep pushing your limits. Whenever you hit one goal, you don't just sit there. It's not like, hey, I got my SC5, party for the rest of the month, people. It's, you know, go for more, get 6, get 7. And then next month you're like, well, I got 7, I got to get 8. You got to be growing. It's a business. It's not a hit this goal and, like I said, go wander off for the rest of the week. Like, find more people to help, or help your coaches focus more on your team. That's what I do. I try to hit my Success Club early in the month, so I have more time to just find more people to help, connect, form, but also help my team. It frees me up a lot more because I can work with my team more and help them achieve their goals. Okay, so that month was amazing. Also got pregnant. So my business was going like this. Woohoo, quick job, 34 points, diamond. Then I got pregnant. I was like, wow. Right? So I got like major morning sickness. I was so nauseous. So 3 months I was like, screw Beachbody. I was one of those coaches you would have hated to have in your downline at that point. I think my coach actually hated me because I was like, leave me alone. So I was doing the bare minimum again, from 34 points to like struggling to hit 5 points. And that's how I continued for the rest of my pregnancy. So for me, my career as a Beachbody coach is split into 2 stories. There's this whole first craziness that you're all hearing about right now, my first year and a half, really. So sign up right until my baby came out. And then baby came out January 2014 to now. So basically 2 years. And that's where the business building happened. This other stuff was just messing around. It was not really having a plan, not doing personal development at all. I'd never even heard of it. Seriously, I hadn't heard of it because that's the way that team was. Sorry. But I didn't know. And one of the reasons why I made my own team. Okay. So, yeah, pregnant, and I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. I was getting really fed up at knowing how well I knew I could do in the business from that 1 month of hitting 34 points. And I said to myself, this isn't acceptable. And at that point, I'd formed a new why. And my why was, okay, I don't want to go back to retail. I don't want to have my kid in daycare and stand on my feet all day and never be a part of his life, because in retail, it's not just 40 hours. It's someone calls in sick, and because you're the best employee in that department, you get dragged in on the 6th day that you should be off, and then you're doing inventory in the middle of the night and so on, and it's slave freaking labor. So I was like, no, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And that was my whole new why. So of course I get the light bulb moment, right before I have my baby, because that's just me, that I decided, right, okay, he's due at the end of December, and January, that's it. No excuses. Game on. And that's exactly what happened. Popped that little guy out and was like, okay, let's do this. Let's go. Building my diamond back up for real this time, without discount coaches. By the way, my diamond crumbled bad. I was like super weak emerald at that point. So don't worry about your rank doing this all the time. I'm pretty sure I lost my diamond like 3 times, and that one was super bad. But it's about picking yourself back up again and saying, okay, well, I know I was there once, so I can get there again. And you know what? I can redo it better because I know better this time. And so I was like, I'm getting my diamond back. I'm getting business builders. I'm having people who want to do this with me, not begging and pleading anyone to be a discount coach to help me. I want people that I can help. I want to be able to share this gift, this golden ticket with someone else who may feel like me, someone who may want the opportunity to stay at home. Like I can see Jen right here with her little baby. Women don't want to miss that kind of stuff in their life. Well, most of us anyway. And there are dads that don't want to miss that either. So this is the next part of my story. 5 weeks, my child was 5 weeks old, and my husband at that point was really the big breadwinner. He had a career in graphic and web design, and I remember the 21-day fix had just come out that week, big brand new program. I had literally just received it in the mail. I had put it all on the table, this big display, these beautiful containers that no one had seen before, because I got my package actually really earlier than most coaches. So I was like, oh, I have to get this video out really fast so people will buy it from me. And I was doing this video and I saw my husband walk past the window and I'm like, why is he here? It's the daytime. And it was all caught on camera. It was terrible video. My husband walks in and he's like, I lost my job. I was like, okay. So we just had a 5-week-old baby. I'm like barely getting by here. Like I was just a retail income anyway. And we were living in Hermosa Beach, California, Los Angeles, super expensive. And he just lost his job. He got let go. And so we were like, crap, this is bad. We're screwed. We have a baby. And so we had a talk and I just said, look, you know what? This is our chance to maybe go full throttle with this business. Maybe you should stay home for a while. You be the stay-at-home dad. I'm going to be the business mama here. And, you know, we had some savings. He went on unemployment for a few months as well because he worked all his life. He was friggin' entitled to it. And that's what we did. We were like, okay, let's give this a chance. And he said, okay, but if you've not reached this amount of income by this amount of time, I'm going to go back to work. So he was still looking for a job in the meantime. So I had 6 months to basically make a certain number. And that was a really powerful why for me. So I got to work because I did not want him to have to go back. He made my life so much easier than having to be the one parent at home. I was struggling a lot. I had a bit of postpartum depression that I didn't even recognize at the time. And neither of us have family here in this country. Do any of you have any idea how hard that is? We've never had a break ever from looking after our beautiful baby, but sometimes you need a break. So Vicki, you were like, I had a break this weekend. And I was like, okay. So yeah, having him there was going to be a big deal. So I was like, I got to get to work. And we did it 6 months into it. And I had made enough money for him to fully retire. So that was 2 years ago. My husband has now been retired for 2 years. We have been a stay-at-home family and we've just been kicking butt ever since. So for me, 2014 was the life changer. My son came out into the world. I decided, let's do this. I went from diamond that year, closed at the end as a 2-star diamond premier coach from someone who had such a stupidly weak diamond. So that really came down to one, personal development. Like for real, I just started stalking YouTube like a maniac. At that time, it was all Lindsay Matway, Melanie Mitro, Scotty Hobbs. Like that's all I could get was them three because they just put so much stuff out there that I didn't know about. And you know, breastfeeding in the middle of the night, nothing else to do but watch YouTube, right? There's no excuse to not get your personal development in. You could be sitting on the toilet for 5 minutes watching a motivational video and you're like pooping, and you're like, yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I swear I haven't been drinking tonight.
You're fine. You're fine. You're totally one of us. That's fine.
Cool. So yeah, it was personal development and just, again, having a real clear and concise goal that was non-negotiable and that super fueled why that I just had to run with it. So this is why I'm saying, again, you have to know your why. And I know some people out there are like, I really don't know what it is, because that's what I was like for so long. I really didn't know what it was, and it's hard. So you got to really ask yourself, well, how would I feel if Beachbody just suddenly was shut down tomorrow? Could you imagine like no more Beachbody? Like what would you actually do with your life, and how would you feel? Like what has Beachbody brought to your life? What positivity? What's it done for you? Somewhere mixed in with that is your why. So that's one way to start filtering it out. Okay. You found a passion. So it may not necessarily be purely helping people like pearl personalities. It's all like they want to save the planet, right? And then there's rubies who really, really just want to like win. And then there's sapphires who just want the party. I just want to connect with people. And then there's the emeralds who love systems and making trainings and stuff. So it's not purely just helping for everybody, but no matter what, that's what we're doing. And that's the beautiful thing about this opportunity. I always say you could be like the most money-driven, greediest person on the planet, and it wouldn't matter in this business because you'd still be changing so many lives in the process. And that's what's beautiful about it. And I'm not saying be like that. Anyone who's genuinely doing personal development, I don't think it's going to be that kind of person anyway. So much personal development changes you on a spiritual, mental, and emotional level and teaches you a lot of gratitude for what you're learning in your life. So anyway, totally off topic, but yeah, so from Super Week Diamond, and halfway between that year, I went to my second ever coach summit. And this was like my big light bulb moment, because what I was really struggling with was I just couldn't seem to get my coaches to help them to hit Success Club. I couldn't seem to help my coaches see any kind of success. It wasn't so hard for me anymore, but I just couldn't duplicate it. You can't duplicate yourself, right? You just can. And so that was so hard for me. So I went to Summit. You all have to go to Coach Summit. Oh my gosh, the light bulb moments that you have there. You're like, amazing. I went to this one workshop, and it was by Melanie Mitchell. And at that point, I think she might be just 2-star. I don't know. But her whole training was about how to create a brand new coach all the way to like Star Diamond. And I was like, okay, I need to know this, because I can't even get them past Emerald, right? So that was absolutely mind-blowing, because she talked about this concept about getting started right. Something I'd never heard of. Sad but true, I hadn't. And it made me realize my huge weakness as a coach is that I was signing up these coaches and I was trying my best to help them, but really I was stretching myself so thin, because I was basically, they would message me and I'm like, this person's saying that, I don't know what to say. And I'm like messaging them back saying, say this, say this. I didn't have a script. I didn't have anything anywhere organized. It was just really winging it. So when I heard this concept from Melanie Mitchell of just get a getting started right system, get this training in place, because there was no Coach Basics at the time, remember? I was like, okay, this is good. I like it. And at that point, I kind of decided I'm out from my uplines team. I really want to do my own thing. And that was the day, in that moment, in that seminar, I stood up and there was a few other people there from my team. And I just said, I'm going to create my own team. I really want to do something completely different. Who's with me? And they were like, me. And that was the day Team Shine was born. So that was like, almost 2 years ago today. And I've never looked back. And I'm telling you, as soon as I started implementing getting started right calls and actually talking to people and finding out their goals and their why and just setting them up with a simple plan of action, I'm telling you, if there was anything, don't do anything else in the business, just do that one thing. A getting started right call. Talk to them about their goals and their why, and tell them about Success Club, why they need to hit it so they can cover their Shakeology, like I said, and just let them know the roadmap. That's basically all you have to do. And I know it for a fact, because that month I started implementing it, and all of a sudden I remember I went from like no one hitting the Success Club to suddenly 4 people do it in 1 month. And not only that, one of them was a brand new coach who did it within 4 days. And I was like, this stuff works. Oh my gosh. So that was it. Started working on like just this whole training system. It wasn't anything that was rocket science. You know, it's pretty much what the Coach Basics is now as well. You could look at my training and it's pretty much the same thing. I've taken a lot from Beachbody's Coach Basics too. It's just really breaking down the vital behaviors, obviously, really emphasizing personal development, but sharing your story, which is just so, so huge in social media, being able to share your vulnerabilities and so on. But yes, one thing like I said, I never did was a getting started right call, because I just didn't know any better, because my coach had never done that. She would do opportunity calls. She'd get you on the phone and tell you about Beachbody. And then once you sign up, it was like, see ya. And so that's what I thought you kind of did. And I realized, no, I don't even do opportunity calls, not one-on-one opportunity calls anymore. I just talk to them. If they want to go over a few details, yeah, I'll talk to them on the phone that way. But I don't really get on the phone with them until they actually sign up. And that's where I'm like, okay, I'm fully here for you to help you achieve your goals. Tell me what they are. Here's the roadmap. And it changes everything. And that's what actually got me from a crappy butt diamond to a 2-star diamond who had achieved 130 elite points to get me to Premier. And if you don't know what those are, you basically earn elite points from your own personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club. So a lot of people started hitting Success Club. Everything changed in my business. I went from like little league to massive league. And okay, so that brings us to last year, 2015. I was like, okay, we got Premier this time. Let's go higher. Let's go for elite. And that was the goal last year, which is why I ended up closing out at 5-star diamond on the 31st of December. So the very last day you could do it, I got my 5-star, but I missed the elite points by 2 points. 2! That was a killer. But I learned a huge lesson from last year. So I really just repeated the same things last year that I had done the year before. Getting started right, helping your coaches succeed and hit their goals and give them the roadmap and all of that. But something I got a little lost in last year that I've had to correct just the last few months towards the last half of the year, I got so sucked into having to be elite, that it stopped being about my team anymore. It became about me in here. I mean, I was still helping them and everything, but I got so focused on my goal that it just drove me bananas. Like, I actually almost lost my mind in November and December. And I had to take a month off in January. And it was purely because I just lost my way. And all last year, my team was beautifully working because I had actually decided to be a servant leader. I decided to actually say, okay, you know what? I am not going to even focus on my goals. I'm purely just going to help my coaches hit their goal, whatever it is. I'm going to help them. And I realized that whenever you help other people hit their goal, that's going to come back to you naturally. So you don't really have to stress about your rank or your success, because if you're helping others be successful, it's going to come back to you. That's just the way it is. It's good karma. That's what karma is, right? So, but I had lost that towards the end of the year. I went into that trap, unfortunately, and I was working. I didn't have a schedule. It was all over the place. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, I would get up at like 6 a.m. I'd be on the phone like this, not talking to anyone. I would still be on working late at night. I got to the point in December where my husband basically said the D word: we are going to get divorced. And I was like, okay. So it got really, really bad. Major relationship breakdown because I was just being so consumed by Beachbody. So my huge lesson that I really learned there, and I just started working on it myself, was that there needs to be balance in this business. Something that we all struggle with so much. Time management, knowing when to put the phone down, not feeling that guilt of not answering someone right away. You're obviously a very different team, and I don't know how you guys work, but how it really worked with me was I was just really duplicating what my coach did with me. So she was always very available to answer questions. And so I figured that's what I had to do too. And it's almost the worst thing, because then your team thinks, oh, Ashleen can answer me right now. And your customers think that you're always there. And you know what it feels like, right? Like you feel like you just have to be there all the time. And so just last January there, I decided I need to set business hours, like big time. I spoke to Vicki a little bit about this last night. I found this book called Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So it's co-authored. So the main author of it, who's the Miracle Morning guy, yay, Cindy said she just got it. It's amazing. The whole idea is that you create the structure of your day and you implement it like first thing in the morning, or your first chance that you get to, because I know some people do actually have to go to work, or, whatever. Your schedule can be crazy where you can't necessarily work right away. But the first chance you get, have this really strict schedule laid out. And I'll show you mine. I'm pen and paper girl, by the way. And
this is why we mesh well. Like, you cuss, you drink beer, you use a pen.
I love beer. And I'm always flinging my pens off by accident on calls as well. Where's my schedule? Okay.
You're unorganized like me.
So this is like my Miracle Morning schedule. So actually, I have all this crazy stuff. My work doesn't start until here. So like 8:30, right? So this is all the other stuff I'm basically doing. So I wake up, Miracle Morning. So it's like just getting yourself awake, not allowing yourself to turn the alarm off, and so on. I do a little to-do list. So I implemented Shalene Johnson's 30-day push at the same time in January. These were my two things I did when I unplugged to reboot myself. 30-day push. Please do it. If you need some kind of organization in your life, do it. I did that in this Miracle Morning book. So, 5 minutes of a to-do list. And then I do a quick motivational video. 5 minutes. That's why I was talking to you about watching a video in the toilet, because 7 a.m., let's face it, you're probably on the toilet like I am, right? 7:05, get the workout done. Now, this is a really cool thing about Miracle Morning. You would swear this guy who wrote it was a Beachbody coach, because he emphasizes the importance of exercise so much and having to get it done, and he's in network marketing. I actually Googled him, and I had to see, was he a coach, and he's not. But yeah, so get your workout done right away. This is actually part of what they call the Miracle Morning. Wake yourself up. Get your workout done. Be healthy. It helps you be happy in here, right? Totally clicking with me. Okay, so shower, then do a little gratitude list, a little meditation, boom, personal development. Before I even start my work, PD. So I'll do 20 minutes of PD, sit down and read something that's going to get me in the right mindset for the day right before I implement work. And work starts for me 8:30 and ends at 11:30. So there's 3 hours there. And that sounds crazy for someone who's full-time. But I have it organized so well now because of that book that I just knock out these 3 power hours and my work is done for the day. And I do another hour and a half in the afternoon, and that's just really checking in with my team, answering some more questions, doing a little bit more social media. But the work is done. And what I mean by work is the invites, the vital behaviors. It's all done first thing in the morning. It's absolutely amazing. So I got here 8:30. So, page group check-in. So I'm checking in on my team, checking in on my challenge group, stuff like that. 9 o'clock, I start finding people. I'm going to explain that in a second. 9:30, relationship building. I'll explain that too. 10, invites. Boom, full hour of inviting. And then 11 to 11:30, another check-in back on my team page, my challenge groups. That's work. If you can even get that done, you're going to be flying. And I'm not saying you need 3 hours. You can do that in a power hour. You can break that into 15-minute sections. You could do 15 minutes of finds, 15 minutes of relationship building, 15 minutes of invites, and 15 minutes of checking in the pages. And those 15 minutes don't need to be in chunk. They can be spread out, like in the morning, in the afternoon. That's the idea of a power hour, but it needs to be focused. And this is where I got very lost last year, and where I've got so much clarity now from the lessons learned, is that you can't be half in and half out, half with the family and half online, or half talking to a customer or whatever. Whenever I'm working now, when I'm doing this, I am working. I am 100% focused. This is what I'm doing at the time. So if I have all my notifications going off on Facebook, because I'm one of those people that doesn't turn them off, but I don't look at it. If I'm in my 1 hour of inviting, that is what I'm doing. Even if I can see someone's responded to a post that I did on whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm on inviting now. That's where I'm at, 100% focused on that task. Once 11 o'clock goes, okay, I'm now going to pages and groups, and I fully focus on that. And that's the key there. When you're doing anything, be 100% fully focused in that and that only. Discuss with your spouse, I'm going to do my power hour. I'm going to do 30 minutes now. Can you please look after the kids, or can you take care of whatever right now? I need to be 100% fully focused here. But if I get this done right now, I can give all of me to you for the next couple of hours, because I just checked out a whole load of invites and everything else. And so since I've been implementing this, our relationship is so much better, happier. I got his butt on a team call 2 weeks ago. My husband doesn't even work in the business, hosted a team call 2 weeks ago from the spouse perspective and everything. So everything's just blooming between us. He made these shelves here, and we put our little wedding flowers up there just last week. And so everything's good. I'm finding balance again and sanity, and the team is booming all of a sudden again, because I've found myself once again just saying to my team, how can I help you achieve your goals? I do not give 2 craps about elite this year. I just don't care. And it's not because I'm not saying you shouldn't go for elite. I do still want it, but it's not my goal. My goal is, I know if I help enough of my coaches achieve their goals, I know I'm going to get elite. I know it. It's just going to fall into place naturally. So this does not matter, focusing on me and my goal. My goal is helping them hit theirs. Pure and simple. And that brings me so much joy and so much happiness, and why I'm so happy to just ramble to you guys for as long as you want to listen to me, because I just want to help everyone learn from my mistakes. And that's pretty much how my journey as a Beachbody coach has been. It's just been trial and error, mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. And eventually 3.5 years later, I found my way. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't really find my way until last January. January is in 2 months ago. For real. I feel like it's just been this one big journey, and I'm sure I'll look back in 2 years and still be like, dude, I didn't know anything back then. That's just the way it is. We're constantly growing. So never stop your personal development. Never stop looking at what you can get better at. If there's something in your life that's plaguing you or causing you an issue, you have to address it. Find some kind of personal development to work on it and fix it. That's what I had to do in January. I was just crushed. I was literally added to the wall group on December 31st. And I remember January came, and I was like, you know what? This is where all the big coaches are. I have to come out with this. And I just told them, how do you guys deal with this? I just had a mental breakdown. I actually got sick. I was so stressed out from my life. I got sick on December 23rd. It was my son's 2nd birthday. I lost my voice. I never lose my voice. I lost it for 2 weeks straight. After that, it developed into a cough and a chest infection. And from there, it actually developed into a flu. And so I was sick for 3 to 4 weeks straight, and I could not get better. And it was because I'd crashed. I'd stopped doing Beachbody for a few weeks, and my system had just crashed and had to recover. And I actually shared that in that wall group. And I remember Anita Myron, all these big names came on and actually answered me. And they were like, dude, you got to really find balance, because that's what happens. You can make yourself sick find balance. And that was like so huge to see that they had learned those lessons too. And that's why I want to share that. You need to find balance. You need to make a schedule. And I'm the most unorganized person under the sun. It's so hard to stick to a schedule, but trust me, when you do it, your life is beautiful. I literally do those 3 hours and 1.5 in the afternoon or whatever it is, 2 hours if it goes over, and the rest of the time now with my family. My husband has a life now. He's not shafted with our kid from 6 a.m. because he gets up to get the baby because I'm just not a morning person. So, I get up a few minutes after him, but he looks after the baby, the toddler, from like 6 right through to right now, and it's 7:20. He's still with him, and it used to be like that where he was just shafted with the kid all day because I was kind of working, kind of like, I'm a bit busy, honey. Now it's like, it's 11:30, I'm done, laptop closed, and I take him for the afternoon, and my husband goes off and does his little shelves and makes projects now and stuff. We found balance, we're happy, we're complete. So please, please, please learn that lesson about time management and get that book. So how are we doing for time? Are we okay? Because I've just got a little bit I want to add.
You're good.
Okay.
We're hanging.
We're good, yeah? Just keep going all night. Whip up the alcohol. Let's do this. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about how I find people, relationship building, and that's going to be really it because it has changed now. I don't hang out on the Shaun T page anymore like a little stalker because let's face it, that just is way too stressful and crazy. Used to do it. Now it's just covered in coaches saying, buy my stuff. So I'm out. So there are 3 ways that I find people now and add them to my network. And so you're going to have heard of them. Of course, we all have. It is your Facebook like page, groups, and obviously just straight up friend requesting people. And I don't mean that in a kind of a weird way. So I'll talk about the friend request one first. It's not one I do so much. It's harder because I still don't have a massive network here in this country. I didn't grow up here. I didn't go to school here. I didn't work here all my life. But for all of you who have, that's a lot easier. So, you can look through your friends list and actually see who is like mutual friends and so on, or see who is a friend of them. Like you can actually do that in lists. I don't really know how to describe it because I'm not technological, but there's people there who's not connected to you. It may be recommending you someone. You're like, oh my gosh, there's her. We went to school with her. I totally forgot about her. Like I know we didn't really talk too much, but whatever, it was 10 years ago. Like let's connect, start up a conversation, start up a relationship. So do things like that. I'm not saying like hound your friends list or anything like that, but just look through whenever you're finding friends yourself, they recommend people who very possibly might have known you. So start reconnecting to them and just reach out like a normal human being, like, hey, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Of course, stalk their Facebook page first, look at what's going on in their life, reach out right away and just be like, hey, oh my gosh, I saw that you just had like a kid. That's amazing. Like, how are you doing? It's been so long. Always see what's going on in their life and talk about their life. The key is to be interested in them, not being interesting. It's all about giving value to. I know you said that last night, Vicki, and I was like, yeah, that's like my best quote, and like just totally. So that's really the friend requesting thing. It's not too in depth, but it's a good little tip. I know Melanie Mitchell is always like going on about that one big time.
Can I stop you real quick and add on to the friend request thing? So one thing that I've learned recently, actually, Josh Coates, I don't know if you know him, Ashleen, but a lot of my coaches on my team do. He's from the John Maxwell team, but he talked to me about how he used to be a car detailer, and he actually took this from his car detail shop. So it's a referral program through your friends. So your customers, it was his requirement as a detailer to be like, name 5 friends that you think would let me detail their car or needs their car detailed. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like,
wow.
Do you have 5 friends that maybe, wouldn't mind following me on Facebook, or, maybe you could send them my Facebook like page and reach out to them for me, or, maybe they want to join the 21-day fix group with you, or, whatever, whether it's your challenger coach or not one of your coaches, because you don't want to be snagging your coach's friends, but, a prospect, or maybe it's a mutual friend or a friend that you've had for a long time, and you just reach out to them and you just ask. You're basically asking for referrals or suggested friends through them without having to go through. So that's just a little.
That's an amazing tip. You're a gold mine, seriously. Awesome. I love it. I'm actually writing that down. Sorry guys, I'll get back in a minute. I'm busy working. Okay, so the second way is obviously through building your like page. That can be very slow in the beginning, but whenever you really start to, whether you're boosting posts or you're really starting to dig in like with courses and learning how to like maximize reaching new people, whenever you see you've got any kind of new like or interaction or whatever it is on your page, I actually friend request that person right away because you now have the opportunity to be able to message them. Facebook, you couldn't message people before who weren't connected with you. It would go into their other box and it was lost into oblivion for all time. Now you can actually message them and they will actually see the message. So what I do is I just do like Vicki said this on my team call last night. I just reach out and say something like, hey, like thanks for liking my page and for the support. Are you on a health and fitness journey too? Start up conversations with people that way. I found I have a 50% friend acceptance rate by doing that. 50% of people will actually accept my friend request. And the other ones, I just go back to the next day. So I do that during my finds section at 9 o'clock. I'll go back, look at the people I friend requested. If they still haven't accepted that point, I clear them out just so I don't get put in Facebook jail for having too many pending friend requests, right? But I start building it that way because at the end of the day, if someone's liking your stuff, it means they're interested in what you're doing one way or another. So it is almost like an icebreaker already. So you've got a good chance of them accepting your friend request.
Do you even send likes to people? Sorry. Do you even send likes to people that like or comment on one of your photos or your posts?
Yep. Yep, that's actually one of my main ways to do it. So I found this little thing I started doing recently. I used to always, boost, just post the big promo post, join my challenge. I would like boost that and try to target it. It never worked. I'm actually doing a training now and understanding why, but that's what most of us do. But what I started doing recently was the posts I would boost were actually really normal posts. So let's just say I decided to get emotional, share about some kind of vulnerability about, okay, I had postpartum depression. Any mamas out there who can relate, maybe share my story. Weave in how Beachbody positively impacted my life, sharing your story, the 4-step rule, the problem, how you felt about it, the solution, Beachbody, and how your life's changed. But it would be a very normal post just about me, and I would boost that, and I would target it to moms or something like that. That way, they're actually not seeing a Sally post. They're going to see a post in newsfeed about some girl talking about how she was dealing with her postpartum depression and how she's now taking control of her anxiety and so on by doing this workout. Oh, wow, I might follow her. And so what I will do is the next day when I'm doing my finds, I will go back to that post and I will look at all the names who liked it and I'll start sending them friend requests. So that's kind of my new way of networking people to me. Just once a day or whatever your budget is, I boost like a really normal post, but one that is definitely sharing some kind of vulnerability that people will connect to. So don't worry about boosting those salesy posts. They're all over the place now. People are sick of them. Boost, if you're going to boost anything, boost the ones that are just real and raw and people will connect with and relate with. So that's been my real key to adding people from my page. And then the third way is groups. So, find groups of like-minded interests. For me, angel cards, Louise Hay, law of attraction, positivity. I'm hanging out in those pages, right? I'm with the real airy fairy people. I'm surprised I haven't met Vicki over there somewhere, honestly. So I think we'd like kill those pages, by the way. And I used to do this thing. I don't recommend doing it so much anymore, but I would go into the group and add myself and I would do like cute little photo. Hey, hi, my name's Ashleen. I'm new to this group, looking to connect with like-minded moms. Send me a friend request if you're interested. And not really, Sally. It did work. One day I got 100 people like friend request me. Great. But you can't keep doing that every day or every week saying, hey, I'm new here, friend me. So what I decided to start doing was share value in those pages. So like I just said, my like page, right? I just shared this big story about postpartum depression and how bad life was and now Beachbody and everything's amazing, right? Well, I would take maybe one of those posts about overcoming something in my life, something that they would be interested in. So maybe I'll do a post about how I was doing Reiki healing or I was doing angel card readings, whatever it is, but I give them a tip. I share value in that page. I do a post basically saying something like, hey, do you guys struggle with something like this? I found that when I use my crystals, it really helps with this chakra. What do you think? So I'll give them an engaging post in that group. and give them something first. And all of a sudden there's people on there and I'm getting friend requests because we're talking. So it's not a case of really going in there, finding other people's posts and chatting with them, whether you're cloth diapering or if you love to climb mountains or whatever your thing is and you're in those kind of groups. But ultimately it's about doing a post in there that gives value. You creating a post so people are going to be attracted to that post. Talk, almost like it's your like page. Talk with them, build relationships, and all of a sudden be like, hey, you know what? You're cool. Let's friend. You know, and stick them on the list. Pure and simple. So that's been really working for me. And then just really, really, really simple, really, really fast. How do you take them from straight up friend to actually inviting? Because there's a big gray area there, right? Like friend request. Okay, now you're my friend. Boom. Will you join my challenge? No, not nice. Okay. So this is something I heard from Janelle Summers not long ago, and I thought it was absolutely amazing because it was probably the big weakness in my team at the time. So the relationship building tactics. Find your new people every day. Add them to your list. Pick your number, whether it's 5 new people a day, 10 new people, whatever it is. Stick to it and consistently try to hit that number every day by finding them through your like page, through those groups. Then get like something that's going to keep you organized. I will show you what I use. I use like this little book because it has like little cool little dividers. So it's got sections. So this section is all for my new people. So I'll have like Monday, new people. Don't be looking at those names. I saw you, by the way. Okay. No, I'm joking. Okay, so Monday, new people, Tuesday, new people, and so on, right? And that's all I'm putting on that page because I'm just really disorganized and that's what works for me. Next little green thing. This section is all called CCQ. I don't know if you guys have heard of this or not. This is what you're going to do now with those new people. So look, Monday, oh, Kiana, we friended. It's now Tuesday. I'm going to CCQ her. So whoever you've got on your new friends list, you're going to implement this the next day. You're not going to like start chatting them up on the first day. Leave them alone, okay? You friended. Chill the beans. It's like when you go to a bar and a guy's all over, you're like, dude, please, I'm just here for a drink, okay? So, okay, CCQ. What this is you go to their Facebook page, you have a nice little stock, and you're going to find one really cool post. Oh, he's going to bed. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up right now. Sorry, our little guy's going to bed. So what this means is you find a really cool post, something that you can actually comment on, and this is the method of commenting. So it's comment, compliment, question. So it's not just going on and saying, oh my gosh, your kid's so cute, and hoping they'll answer you back. It's actually saying something like, oh my gosh, your kid's so cute. That's the compliment, right? But comment something else like, oh my God, your kid's getting so big. Wow, by the way, you're looking absolutely fantastic. What's your makeup brand? I don't know. But the point is you're taking whatever they put on their Facebook status. You're not only just saying something like, oh, me too, or love it. You're actually making a point of doing some kind of comment, some kind of compliment from that post, and asking a question. You have to take control of conversations, whether you're in an invite script, talking to people, even if you're just forming them. You always have to end everything you're doing with that person with a question. You have to keep them engaged or you're going to lose them. So if you're just basically saying to someone, hi, thanks for liking my page, but there's no question, you're like 90% of the time not going to hear anything back, or you might get the worst thing ever, like, and that's all they send back to you. So always ask a question. That's what CCQ is about. So I've got Kiana, I made friends with her yesterday. Now I'm going to go hit up her page in CCQ. So I'll take like 1 or 2 of her statuses and just basically one I can relate on if it's about a kid, and I'll say something like, oh cool, really love those diapers. I found like these ones are really great. Have you found like any great things with that? You know, whatever, but just have a conversation. CCQ. Huge. So I'll be doing that for a few days. I keep a list of the people I am like doing that on their pages. Then I move them to the next step when you feel comfortable. So there's not any kind of like rules or timelines here. It's just how you feel the relationship is going. The relationship building message. So this is when you PM them and you're not inviting them. It's relationship building. So, okay, I've been talking to Kiana now about this kid and their freaking cloth diapers, and it's all great and crunchy, but I actually want to like get to know her. So I will actually pick some people now who I'm comfortable with and just send them a message about anything. So maybe you just want to look at their Facebook status, but talk to them in private chat this time. It's just you're purely messaging 5 people just for the sake of talking to them and treating them like human beings. Hey, how's it going? How's life? I saw your kid just started school the other day. That's so amazing. Just strike up a conversation in private and build the relationship there. And that's where you can really start to form and really dig in to find the need for you and what you have, whether it's coaching opportunity or the product. And whenever you're super comfortable, Kiana, you're going on the invite list. I'm going for you tomorrow. Okay. So, that's where you just like, you're comfortable. You two are getting along great, whether it's just been 1 week or 3 months. And now, the time is right to strike with an invite here. I know that there's going to be a good chance he's going to say yes. I know there's a need for this, or I know there's a need for a coaching invite, whatever. And by the way, invites does not just mean to your challenge every day, to your challenge group and to the coaching opportunity. Both. The vital behavior invite is not just inviting to a challenge group. It's inviting people to the business opportunity too. Wah, wah, wah. But yeah, that's what it is. Deal with it. So get really good at learning how to invite people to a business opportunity. Okay, so that's my system in a nutshell of how I find people, how I grew my network, and how it's been going. And it's still a struggle. It's not easy. I still have to push really hard to get Success Club and get the numbers going up and so on. It never gets easier, but definitely get a little bit more talented at it and more knowledgeable, and you can share that to your team and just share your love and sprinkle it all over them, and just really fully focus on when you were working, focus on work. When you're with your family, focus on your family, and with your team, just focus on helping them achieve whatever the heck their goal is. Pure and simple, and everything will come back to you. So I know I went way over time. I ramble way too much, but I really hope you guys got something from that, and I'm totally open to questions.
Oh my gosh. First off, thank you so much. And I love the fact that you admitted that you, like the roller coaster effect, if you will, because I think a lot of us come to a point whether we lose Emerald or whether we are on a streak of hitting Success Club and that month we don't get Success Club. Or maybe we wanted to hit Success Club our first 30 days of becoming a coach or hitting Emerald and we don't hit it. We feel really down on ourselves and we look at ourselves like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? But the great thing about this is an always failing business, because you're always going to be trying new things. And that's not something to be ashamed of by any means. You pick yourself back up and you keep moving forward. And someone like you to come to the table and be like, dude, look at, I failed, but I kept on going and this is where I am. And I'm going to fail 10 more times until next year and so on and so forth. But
For
you
real.
keep going.
Definitely. I mean, I fail all the time to this day, obviously I failed to hit my goal of elite, but guess what? I got way, way closer to it, and my business progressed so much further just for the fact that I went for that, and I also learned such a huge lesson from that too. That's the thing. I haven't actually read the book Failing Forward yet, but I can guess that's probably one of the concepts there, that there's probably a lesson to be learned in your failure. My big ass failure there was you need to sort your organization and your timetable and your life out, because you are scattered and you're going to run yourself into the ground. And that's exactly what I did. And I'll have you know, I'm not even 5-star anymore. I dropped that rank. I went down to 2-star. It's coming back up now really fast because I suddenly, like I said, got myself organized and put myself back into helping my coaches. And all of a sudden I've got like 4 people, on the verge of diamond right now. So it just proves to me over and over again how much it's about helping other people and just seeing a lesson and learning from it and not ignoring it. Don't ignore the warning signs at all.
For sure. Okay. So now we have questions. Well, I know we do. We had everybody loves you, apparently. You can hang with us anytime. Okay. So Cindy said, can you please break down the different sections of your power hour and what you do? Like find your finds, your relationship builds, your invites, and your groups, and how much time in each area.
That is basically it. So this really is like my extended power hour, like I said. So it's just done over a longer period of time because I'm a full-time coach. But again, it's something that can be squashed down into an hour. So my power hour would be, like I said, if you only have an hour, you would do 15 or so minutes for checking into your groups and pages. For me, that's like essential. You have to check in your challenge groups. You have to check into your team page. You could do your 15 minutes of finds, your 15 minutes of that CCQing and stuff like that. That doesn't take long at all. You're literally like ticking a name and saying, okay, I struck up conversation here and so on. So that's the relationship building part of my power hour. And then the final part would be the invite. So personal development is a little bit extra, but 10 pages a day, no biggie. Workout, just a given. So that would be power hour and a half. But that's really it right there. That's the thick of it. Mine's just slightly longer than an hour.
So on your finds, when do you do the CCQ stuff? Is that when you do your find stuff?
Yeah, that's what I consider relationship building. So it's all like stuff right under this one section. So it says here, CCQ, private messaging, and also following up. I consider part of that as well, because there's still a lot of relationship building going on and follow up. So I keep invites completely in its own little section of its own.
Would you mind taking a picture of that and sending it to Vicki?
I totally can.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
She's like this.
I know. I'm like, I can't see. I'm fine.
Got your groups and check-ins.
Cindy, I already took a picture of it with my phone.
Are you
Awesome.
good? I can't see it. It's got like some glare on it. I can't see it. I'm like, what?
I'm sorry. But
Oh, no, it's okay.
it's your page group check-ins. Your finds is definitely its own section, just finding people, because it does take time. The relationship building, that's its own little section, and invites.
And so when you said you totally focus on everything, that's what you do. Like for that little tiny segment of whatever that broken down time is, that's all you're working on right then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So let's just say if you just like, if you were in your finds, let's say at 9 o'clock, and you were just finding people, and you start to see people respond to what you just did, which was your groups and check-ins, doesn't matter. Don't look at that. You're doing your finds. And then again, when you go to the next point where you're relationship building and doing the CCQ and private messaging, maybe someone, the new little person over here who you just found, might actually be like doing something. Ignore that for a while as well. Or you could add that to relationship building, because technically it falls in there. And then again, invites, totally different on its own. Whenever you're in one thing, just do one. You'll get through it so much faster. And suddenly you'll be like, dude, I have nothing to do. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Another question came in from Bree. She asked, what is the trigger point where you feel like you're ready to take the CCQ to the next level? I know you said it could be a week or up to 3 months, but what are there certain signals that you know of when you are ready to message or invite them?
I guess it's just whenever you feel like you're sort of maybe at a point where you're comfortable to have a laugh with each other, I guess. I'm not too sure, like not just purely typing stuff to each other, but maybe more like emojis being used, a little bit more humor. You're starting to get each other. Just, you'll know, like taking your friendship to the next level. You don't just really necessarily invite a stranger to go to the cinema with you or your new neighbor, but you start to get to know them. And then when you feel good, you're like, come on, cinema, movie theater. I have to translate, but it's like that. You can just feel it out. You just know. Don't give yourself rules with that. Just know when the time is right. You're like, okay, I'm comfortable. I can go to this, but don't get to the point where you're like, you need complete 100% comfortability, if that's a word, but it's not, because that's not what this business is about. It's about being outside of your comfort zone at the same time. So it's always being a little bit bold, going a little bit before someone else will, but being comfortable enough to know that they're not going to run for the hills.
And I think one of the ways to make people feel comfortable too, like after you just CCQ'd them, is what I've been doing lately is sending memo messages, like we do to each other, but to like new friends, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone just did that, or that's my first message. But then they hear your voice and they hear your genuineness and they hear how real you are, and so they're immediately comfortable with you right away. And so it's a quicker connection when you use voice over personal message too.
Yes, definitely. I have found that whenever you're starting to go into private messages, the CCQ is just on their page, so you can't like voice message there or anything like that. But whenever you're going in the PMing, that's where you can get crazy with that kind of stuff, because you're comfortable with that point and you want to private message them just about life. So you have voicemails, go bananas. Definitely, that takes it to a whole new level, big time.
Okay, Teresa asked, do you feel like time of day is important? I can't work usually in the morning. A lot of time I can't do my hour or 3 in the late evening, sometimes after 9 p.m. Do you think you can still get good response this late?
I will have you know, one of my best times that I found people and connected with them was about 2:30 in the morning when I was breastfeeding, because there's other mamas up at 2:30 in the morning breastfeeding. It does not matter, just as long as you're getting it done. The only thing that matters about time of day is just being consistent with your social media, which is something I didn't even touch upon. That's it. It doesn't matter where you get this stuff done as long as you get it done.
And that's what's so great about the convenience of Messenger. Like you can message someone at 2:30 in the morning. They may not be up. They may not get it until they wake up the next day at 7:30, but you're still getting your work done, and then they're still getting the message.
Exactly.
Do you invite, Jenny said, so do you invite even if you don't know if it will help them? Like saying, I don't know if this interests you, but.
The way I basically start it is I would the first section of my invite, so we have like a little script. It's 2 paragraphs. So the first paragraph is really looking at what they just talked about on their Facebook page, checking out their latest status. So you can kick off your invite with, hey, oh, I just saw that your kid started school. So cute. Oh, by the way, I was just thinking about you also. I'm starting this challenge and I was wondering if you'd be interested. Let me know. No big deal, whatever. But it's very friendly. It's not about just, join me or anything like that. It's just really being friendly with them, talking about them, and then just saying, oh, by the way, just thought I'd let you know I have this coming up, looking for 3 women. Can you think of anyone? I mean, you can do the indirect approach as well. You don't have to say, oh, I thought of you. You could just say, do you think you happen to know of anyone who might be interested? It's going to be great fun. Let me know. Or not let me know. Never say that. Sorry. But yeah, just straight up ask them. Like,
I love
not?
how you keep it casual and not complicate it. Because so many of us overcomplicate invites and make it more scary than it needs to be.
Oh, yes. It's just purely about being a stalker. Look at their Facebook page first before you go in with the message, because the last thing you want to do is be like, hey, how are you doing? You look great. By the way, this challenge coming up, and, they've just been hospitalized or something. There's a time where I used to do that, and I used to get messages like, well, I'm really haven't been dealing well, or, someone just died, and you're like, oh my gosh. So always look at their page and see what's going on, and then just be like, by the way, got this going on, looking for 3 women. Anyone interested? That kind of thing. It's just really chilled. Just talk to them like a friend.
Because that's what they are. They're your new friend.
Exactly.
Does anyone else have any more questions? Cindy says she wants to go to the cinema now.
Cinema. Yay. I love it because my hubby says it too. So us like non-American people here, we have like our funky little words. Well, he has a whole nother language, but yeah. He can talk code behind my back. Ugh. So I think we should all go to the cinema. Who's going to Summit? Yeah. Well, I invited Vicki to come meet me at the Honky Tonk. So you guys are more than welcome to come too, because my team hit that up last year. It was fun. It was shenanigans. So you guys are more than welcome to hang.
We'll mesh well. Our teams will mesh very well together.
Cool.
Oh, yes. Allison, she says she's missing because her baby will be 2 weeks old. She's due right before Summit.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And she even earned her ticket to Summit too.
Man, still go. I remember, was it 2 years ago? There was a speaker or someone like that. And she was like, yeah, I just had my baby 2 weeks ago. And you're like, what? That's crazy. But yeah, no.
She also probably had her entire entourage traveling with her.
For sure. Yeah, no, the struggle is definitely real. So I understand.
And that was at Vegas when everything was in one place instead of all spread out all over Nashville where you have to walk out.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Anna says she has plenty of sitters here. Does anyone have any last minute questions besides her posting a photo or sharing a photo of her power hour, which I know you all are wanting?
You don't even want a photo. My writing is terrible. This is actually like expert writing for me. It's normally just like, no shame. Had to show you all. Don't hide your secrets, so to speak. Right. Anything that works, just share it with the world, because there's no scarcity here. Share the value.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing all your amazing tips, your story, and everything about you. I know that I loved you, and I got a lot of takeaways and notes, and I know a lot of people did too. So thank you guys so much. Does anyone else have anything to say besides, oh, you're getting lots of thank yous?
Oh, my pleasure. Seriously, like I said at the start of the call, I love to connect. And, the fact that you guys are here, you show up to the call, you want to learn. And so for me, it's just like such an honor to be able to give you something that maybe one of those little nuggets somewhere might have just changed your business forever. So for me, I don't take that lightly. And I'm just so grateful, Vicki, that you reached out. Because I just love this. This has become my favorite part of actually being a coach, is teaching, which I never thought would be. It's my favorite part. So hit me up anytime.
Yeah. Well, you got yourself a new friend, girlfriend.
Yay. Lots of new friends.
Multiplying by like 25 here.
Rip off our bras. Let's go. Yeah, we need to stop this right now. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for hopping on tonight. And thank you for watching the recording for those of you who did not make it live. And thank you, Ashleen. And I hope to see you very soon.